Hi, welcome to the Aero Workshop. Today we're going to show you how to make a corner shelf with a fabric back using your Aero products. First, you're going to need to cut a few pieces of 1x2 boards to the specifications in the cutting list. You're also going to need to cut a piece of 1x1 and some pieces of 1/4 inch wood. For this project, all mitered edges will be done at a 45-degree angle, so that when you put the boards together, the surface of the shelf is going to look like this. Because of the particular shape of this project, we highly recommend sticking to the old woodworking rule of measure twice and cut once. Once you've made all the cuts, we suggest painting or staining your wood before putting it together. Start by laying out the frame. Take the 1x1 board and one of the 36-inch 1x2 boards and lay them parallel. Take 4 pieces of the 10.6-inch 1x2 support beams and place them perpendicular in between. Place the first support beam 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. The second, 13.5 inches up from the bottom. The third, 26 1/4 inches up from the bottom, and the fourth at the top. Be sure to lay the 36-inch 1x2 board on its side. Use your Aero PT18G pneumatic brad nailer to nail all of the boards in place with 1 1/4 inch brad nails. Make sure the boards are even on both sides. Repeat the same steps for the other side of the frame. Lay the pieces out, measure their placements, and then nail them in place. Now it's time to build the shelves. Begin fitting the mitered 1x2s into place. When the pieces are lined up, nail them into the supporting beams. Start with the bottom shelf. Repeat this process for the middle shelf, and then again for the top shelf. Now it's time to add the fabric backing. Lay the frame face down. Measure and cut a piece of fabric to about 40 inches by 48 inches. Drape the fabric face down over the frame. Line up the corner of the fabric with the bottom corner of the shelf. Using your Aero T50 staple gun, staple your fabric to the edge of the frame. If some of your fabric hangs over the edge of the frame, you can fold it back and staple it again. Fold the rest of the fabric around to the other side of the frame. Again, staple it in place. Be sure not to leave any fabric hanging outside of the dimensions of the frame. Now fold the fabric back over to the first side of the frame, creating a second layer of fabric facing up. Staple this second layer in place on the back side, then turn it around and get the front. Cut off any excess fabric. It's okay if your cuts aren't perfect because it will be covered up. Now you can fit the mitered 1/4 inch boards over the edges of the fabric on both sides of the frame. Nail the 1/4 inch wood to the frame using 5/8 inch brad nails. Turn your project so that you can reach the top of it. Now take your 1/4 inch boards that are mitered only on one side. Fit them in place and nail them to the top. Finally, add some adhesive foam pads to the bottom of the legs to avoid scratching your floors. You can cut them to fit the shape of the legs. Thanks for stopping by the Aero Workshop. For written instructions on this project and more projects, visit aerofastener.com/projects.